Good evening. You're listening live to the Extreme Movie Show. I am your host, Rob, broadcasting to you from the Pinellas Palace just west of Orlando, Florida. I am in the Extreme Studios. I wanted to take this show on the road with RDV from the Great Midwest and take a drive southwest of us to Odessa, Texas, and talk about Tulsa King. But we just went over the second episode offline, so that'll be dropping here soon. And it's a fantastic episode on RDV. Thinking about watching these both back to back, how they're different shows, even though they're created by the same guy, Taylor Sheridan. I loved Stallone his entire career. Still do. We'll watch this show.
Yeah.
This is the last episode, the grand finale. And I'm going to be honest with you. I felt like it went out with a whimper. I didn't hate it. It didn't bug me as much as before. But I sat back and said, yep, everything that could happen, we've already seen kind of happen before. I didn't feel really almost anything at the end of this other than I hope next season's better. Even though this season started off, I thought, with a much better tone. I felt they took a safe way out here and try not to shit on it because it's there. But it's like, you guys didn't really do shit. And all of a sudden, everybody's sentimental at the end of the episode. It really didn't work for me. And I'm curious, because I think this episode's not bad. But I think that's just pretty much the mid to the end of the season for me. I'm disappointed in how strong I thought it started off and just kind of fell off the rails. I'm curious as to what you think about this and the whole season's overall.
For me, this is no different than the first season and the second season endings.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah, it is.
Even less of a shootout to me. Well, not really. But.
First season, we had the fight out with the biker boys and stuff. Taking them out. Second season was I think the second season a little bit better ending, with Tyson getting the kill, and then they bury the guy on the farm, and then now this season, Stallone. I love it because it's a callback to the beginning of the season. As Stallone gets a thing in here, and what he does to Dunmire here was pretty good.
Oh, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah. Let's just say
get you fired up.
Oh my gosh, it's a light of my life at that moment. No, this episode was actually pretty decent for me. I didn't really hate as much because I've long since accepted that this show is the comedy show for Taylor Sheridan. It's not as bad as watching Police Academy after the first one. But I mean, it's still got that kind of like camp there. But basically, the episode Stallone was talking to somebody and he realizes, hey, where's my sister? He goes up and knows her bed's made. She hasn't been home yet. So they're all looking for her frantically and they're all freaking out. And they all have this little like powwow kind of like meeting there, like, and the war room, which we call is the Buck Saloon. I love it because the best thing about this episode, and the best thing about last week's episode, is Samuel L. Jackson brings just a certain kind of spice or flavor that needs this, and I mean perfect humor. I thought it was pretty good because he comes in the room, he's like, man, it's like this. The tension in his room is thick. He's like, what the heck happened? And he's like, because originally he was going to leave, he's going to take his Lincoln and get out of there. And instead they find out, he's like, oh, and my sister did kidding. Oh shit. And he's like, don't worry, we'll find her though. And of course, Coop, in the beginning episode had been there, wanted to go talk to his dad, tell him about, some business, and finds like he can't go in there, but he hears a voice. Eventually sneaks back in there. He finds up Angela. I think that's what her name is, right?
Sure.
Joanne. Sorry, Joanne. Yes.
Yeah.
Was tied up, and he gives her a glass of water. He's like, hey, for me. He's like, she's like, here, let me go. He's like, I can't because my dad is like, there's too many men. You wouldn't make it out, So eventually gives her water and talks to her, and then he leaves, So then throughout this episode, Dunmire is like his little bitch is like pretty much this episode, and that's one of the things I know you're gonna talk about, and we'll talk about that. But Dunmire basically has her tied up, and he's like, he's like, here's a pen and paper. He's like, I know we can save all this bloodshed, this nonsense. Just sign over to the distribution facility to me, the distillery, and just like I'm thinking like, but she doesn't own it though. I thought Beth or whatever her name or whatever her name was, Cleo, whatever. I thought she owned it, but anyway, and then she kind of is like, he's like, you don't know it. He's like, what? you already lost. It's like, and she basically, and I love it because, like, he's gonna have dinner with, he later on in the episode, he sits down where he has dinner plate. He's like, your food, and she just basically questions him, and he gets mad, gives a little speech about, oh, my wife died, died of cancer or whatever or something like that. She died, got ill, sick, died. Then my son went to war and he died, and blah blah. And she's like, she doesn't give a shit, honestly, because she can see like he's using it as an excuse.
She's
I'm
not
the victim.
scared. He's not intimidating. This is cringy.
It is very cringy, but then he ends up, he flies off the handle and throws the plate and just like, and he grabs his little axe, and he basically throws it down on the chair next to her, trying to intimidate her more.
Hey, at least that one is almost as intimidating as when he tried hitting his own personal distillery with it when the son was watching last episode. Because nothing says I'm an imitating badass motherfucker than barely being able to swing an axe. My God, this is horrible.
Well,
Robert Patrick deserves better.
This would have been like Chicky.
At least Chicky murdered somebody, did something badass.
Yes.
I'm serious.
He only killed his dad, who couldn't fight back.
Fuck. God, yeah.
Yeah,
there's just no umph behind these bad guys.
But like I said, and that's the thing going in the show. If you're expecting to have a certain thing like other shows,
I know.
Don't. We're 3 seasons in,
I know it's me. It's not you, RJ.
It's so that's going on with her being kidnapped, and eventually Cole shows up and like at the bar and like, oh, what the fuck is this guy out here doing? And it's like, and he talks to what's his name, Stallone's daughter, says like, no, he's here to help. He's the reason why your girl, Dan Delany's alive, and all my friends know, because he's what warned us of the bomb and stuff at the hotel. And he's trying to do good, and he basically gives him a layout, but only after Samuel Jackson's vouchers. He's like, I looked in the eyes of many fuckers that I killed, and this is the only one who's actually
this boy's telling the truth.
He's honest. Yeah, accent. I love it.
That's awful.
I love it. That was the normal Samuel Jackson accent. He has it in every fucking movie. So it's when because whenever he does his Samuel Jackson does a role, it's always his voice. There really is no accent. It's not that great at it. Anyway, so he gives a detailed layout of this, and then we end up like need to get some weapons stuff, and I love it because of like, okay, what are we gonna get here in the show? We're gonna get a lot of weapons here, and of course we do, and it is a shit. A guy is like, I know, what's his name? Mitch says, I know a guy. So Mitch says like, a guy shows up, he's out there with Tyson, and then he's with cash flow and stuff, and they're looking goody and stuff, and they're like in the back of the truck. What do you want? And I love how Cashflow goes to the big cal. He's like 50. He's like, what do you need a 50 cal? He's like, what do you don't fucking need? It's a 50 cal. Why would you not get a
Well, I like the fact that he said he knew some people too, because they're putting together their hit team, and he's the smallest one in his.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
everybody else are really big.
That was the other thing. Samuel Jackson is like, shit, man. It's like, I thought we had big guys over here in Louisiana. It's like, damn. And it's like, so of course, so Cashflow and his guys get the grenade launchers, which will come to play here too. Mm-hmm. You notice the 50 cal there, the submachine gun there? That's the one he used in Rambo.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah,
the 50 cal, because that would have been the one he mounted, because that's still the bloodiest scene I've ever seen on film. Seriously, I've seen a lot of gore. We're talking Rambo from 2006, 2008, or whatever the year was. Well, that's the one I'm talking about.
I was talking about just in Rambo in general, when the helicopter, we had to rescue the guys. I think that was Rambo 2. Yeah. Okay.
I want to start off by, let me say one thing here about what you're building up to, which is the grand finale, which was entertaining in a way. All right. So I have a problem with something that really stuck out to me, and it's not going to matter to anybody except me. Sure. So just bear with me. Stallone in Rocky, I think it's Rocky 1. Of course, it's a low budget independent film, one of the greatest films I think ever made. There's a piece of music in there that he puts on a record and he's playing and he's messing with like Cuff and Link or whatever, just like looking out at the city at night or something or in the morning, whatever. And the theme is it's called Summer Madness. I think it's by Kool and the Gang. And it's just a great instrumental. It's just tremendous. I've heard it way back in the 70s. Stallone's an artist. People may not think of that, but he does art, stuff like that. He's got that in him. So when they play, when we talk about the big battle, I'm just going to throw this observation out there. We'll talk more about it here in a few minutes. But they play Bad to the Bone. Okay. And once they start ammoing up and approaching, then they cue the music. I just started laughing. I'm like, okay, let's have fun.
Yeah.
And then when the battle ended, it ended when the song ended. They played the whole song. And I'm like, that's fucking genius. That's good. About goddamn time you're redeeming yourself. And then they totally unredeemed themselves at the end. Because instead of playing Bad Company by Paul Rodgers in the original Bad Company song, they played it by some fucking cover band. And maybe that was a rights issue. It probably has to be because it didn't sound anything like
that was
going to put Bad Company.
So that was Five Finger Death Punch, which I love. I love better than the original.
But the original one's better. I'm not knocking off Five Finger. I'm just saying. You go to the original, you're going to pay the rights. Do it for the other one.
I like the newer one cover band or the cover R of it.
It's not better than the original.
I think it is.
Oh God, the guy can't even handle Paul Rodgers. Come on, man.
Paul Rodgers is overrated to me. Sorry.
Get the fuck out. Anyway, but let's argue about that.
He can go back to free. No. Overall, like I said, so they're leading up to this. They have a whole plan. They're gonna have Cash Flow and his guys basically shoot grenades, smoke grenades, tear gas into the house, and it's basically the same fight tactics we got, kind of like with we saw before, and so basically, people are getting shot and killed. Samuel motherfucking Jackson is out there just taking out people as they're running away. So they got the gas mask on. They go in there, and these are some bad looking, like Marine kind of like Navy SEALs type of looking, gas masks they wear. Anything on there, and of course we got our little boy Dunmire, who's like, oh shit, what the hell's going on? Because guys are getting blown up by grenades on the lawn.
I knew he'd come for you.
It's like and like fuck, because they said originally they're gonna go, because they're like, when we're gonna go, they had to wait till 3 a.m. in the morning, and whatever they do sometimes, it's always 3 a.m. in the morning or 2 a.m. in the morning, when they do stuff dead of night. And I'm wondering, like, man, Dunmire must live on a lot of land. It's kind of like Reacher. No one around hears that noise. This when they're storming the compound.
Yeah, and he has the stupid walk around security, electronic ones. Even though he burned somebody to death early in this season, it's like, I'll just have a few guys wandering around.
Yeah. So
come on, bro.
So people are getting made off with the machine guns and taken out, and then there's even a moment I love that when you hear Grace was talking to Samuel Jackson when they're on the ride there in the back of
looking for the advice.
The advice. He's like, looking advice from Monday. He's like, I've never done this before, but I guess just shoot them before you shoot. I guess he's like, I know this is gonna be fun, and I was hoping we get to see Grace like do some shooting. I don't think that. Maybe I glossed over it, but I didn't see it. But I remember Grace being really much having
a surprise crack shot, a natural.
Yeah.
That's what I remember.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying in this episode though, in the big fight thing, I don't see her going out and killing anybody. No, there's nothing there, because that would have been great. Because there is a scene in here when they're in the home, and there's a guy. Well, the last guy, they're all being basically taken out. He's on the side of the wall. He's gonna shoot. I believe it was Samuel L. Jackson, wasn't it? Or was I thinking the other way around? But it's Dwight and Samuel Jackson there, and he goes in and basically the guy gets going to get killed away. I thought it would have been great if it would have been Grace, be like, this goes away, just I'm having fun, starts killing more people. I would. But
something that no matter whether we liked how they did it or not, or preferred something else, it would have equated to what I call character development, pushing somebody forward, which we're not getting. Because a few episodes ago, you and I were talking, and I brought up the concept to you. We were trying to predict what might happen as things started to pick up, and we felt that momentum shift for the last few episodes. Did Stallone lose anybody at all on his team?
No.
I thought it should have been at least one for some dramatic effect to cull the herd a little bit, is what I think I said, right? And I was almost thinking to him, like, no, that if it's somebody significant, maybe it's just one. If Dunmire had like chopped it in her leg or something like
Problem
that.
is, though, you're thinking this is justified
I
or
know,
even
and you
or
keep
yeah,
telling me that, even though I haven't seen
it's
those shows, but it's
yeah,
got to mean
it's
something at some point.
it's not that type of show.
I
It never will
know.
be. I
I feel
know.
wrong,
And that's you're until you get through that and you just have a carefree attitude, you'll enjoy it more. But I know you expect a certain thing on shows by watching other shows, especially if you watching like Landman or even like I said Justify, The Wire or stuff. There's always consequences for actions, but it seems like this show there really isn't much consequences for the good guys because they're the good guys. They have plot armor for some reason. Yeah, I would suck to lose Grace, or get killed, or even I said I don't really like Tyson much because Tyson seems to have multiple chances for redeeming himself. But I would still hate to see Tyson get killed, But what was the whole deal with him and his dad? Talking about his dad, and he was a gangster. His dad, he used to be a gangster. Yeah. And as Breen says, Tulsa King is popcorn entertainment, and that's it. That's all it is. If you think too much about it, you're gonna stress yourself out. But hey, there's alternatives. Like I said, we have Landman. I said if you watch Justified, go watch Justified. That is a freaking good show.
What do you think about the whole Cal Thresher who actually in this episode became governor?
Governor, yeah. So Cal Thresher in this episode comes governor, and he tells Dan Delany, he's like, "I want you to camp me," but yeah, fuck Dwight. We don't need Dwight. And I'm thinking, oh shit, Dwight's gonna have to remind him next season who's in charge. But so they go in there, and everybody pretty much is taken out except for Dunmire. Dunmire flees after finding a shotgun, runs his little barn thing, and Stallone gets the upper hand on it, knocks him down. And we get this cool scene, this Michael Mann scene. Zoomed in, we see this chain wrapped around his legs. This close up his legs, feet, and he's being dragged across the floor. And then you see the wheel cranking it as he goes higher, higher, higher. And then you see he's outside above a little fire pit, the one that always sits by his little moonshine.
I love a Kurt burning somebody alive. We don't get it that often.
No.
Just like we don't get waterboarding either, or other forms of torture that we used to get in 70s movies and some 80s. It's disappointing, really.
The last time we had waterboarding was in a Jason Bourne movie.
And see, that's about almost a generation ago.
I know, right? Yeah. Nobody waterboards like Jason Bourne. No, so like I said, this show is like it's popcorn entertainment, like Breen said in the chat. I honestly liked it. The ending I thought was really, really good. This is obviously again written by Dave Erickson and then Sylvester Stallone. They're both co-written again, and you can tell because the way Dunmire goes out is very much a Stallone Rambo way.
I agree. I loved it in a way.
Oh, I did not expect that kind of ending, and I'm thinking
call back your reference at the beginning when we launched tonight.
Yes. Dwight has him up there. You see him up there, he's hanging right there, and he's like, yeah, it's kind of funny. It's like, it's like we're in this way again. You hear a story about the freaking the Jesus lizard? And like, what the fuck? I'm like, I forgot that was the name of the title. I'm like, where are we going with this freaking lizard bullshit again? And he's like, the Jesus lizard. They call him like he can walk on water like Jesus, but as soon as he hits that bubble, he trips. Well, I'm the fucking predator at the bottom that eats the fuck out of that shit.
Stallone will do this in his movies. Stallone did a remake of Michael Caine movie called Get Carter, and it's an absolutely 100% guilty pleasure of mine. And everybody I know, I've lost girlfriends over watching this movie because they're like, "This is trash. This is horrible shit." And I'm like, "It's got that great theme. It's electrified a little bit. It's got Stallone in there. It's so horrible but so good." And there's a real famous line that everyone laughs and makes fun of, because Mickey Rourke's gonna beat his ass. He goes up to him And Mickey Rourke goes on this great little rant wearing these stupid little plastic glasses, like, I'm the man now. I've got the juice there. And he's like, yeah, like cat piss in the snow. And everyone's looking at me like, how do you like this from? I'm like, that's from the original fucking movie. They're trying to fit it in here. And so when he started rambling on about the Jesus lizard and explaining it, I'm like, you give it to me, Stallone. If you're going to be this way in the fucking show, I want one scene like this every goddamn episode that's just weird and bizarre and out there. You got it in you. Do it. Because I don't need to see Tyson trying to pimp out or get shot in a cyber truck. Ha ha. Escalate it, sir. If you're going to be popcorn, give me popcorn. Give me extra large. Don't tease me every few episodes.
So it says, Dunmire is like, yeah, you're the fucking lizard, and you fucking tripped, you burned a man to death, It's like, you ever burn yourself for it? It hurts a little bit, but when you burn to death the way that you burned that guy, it indescribable. And
the good thing is, you're gonna know exactly what he felt like.
Exactly. He's like, here, have a light. And he lights the thing, and you see the flames go up, and then you see Dunmire like, oh, and he's like, and you get this scene of he's walking away, and he just the fire going higher, and he's just like, burning to death. And then here's the thing. What's that?
I want to nitpick one thing when he lit him on fire.
Yeah.
He should have taken a bottle of the fucking whiskey that had been the center of this whole episode, like bashed it on his head and used that as an accelerant. That would have been a great fuck you. Yeah. Or have the girl do it, right? Because by the way, where the fuck is she?
I would have used Dunmire's own beer, his own alcohol.
You get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, the moonshine, the white lightning. Yeah,
yes. Come on, man.
Yeah, but I guess they're trying to hold. I don't know why they didn't do it. I don't know. Maybe they forgot. Whatever. But they didn't have time strains. Maybe it was cut. But or they didn't want. It was an agreement. Rob actually didn't want to be covered in and stuff. I don't know. The guy has been on Walking Dead. He's been a zombie, so it has his guts eaten out. So it's like it's the point. I don't know why they didn't do it, but they didn't do it. But he did this badass scene. He kills Dunmire, and then immediately, hey, we're at the club now. Mitch, go up there and sing. Mitch is Garrett Hedlund is a good singer. He's Jeff Bridges' son from Tron Legacy, which I always forget. Yeah, I always forget about that. Everyone's up there, and then Cleo's there too, and all that stuff, and just at the end, of course, while he's sitting there talking to Delany and stuff, and Kevin Polack shows up, and they go meet inside the room, the security room. He's like, and he's pulling out something from inside the safe, and he goes like, "Is that for me?" And he's like, "Yeah, but so he basically just gives him what he needs, here's the lessons, and the kind of thing. And I was expecting, we need we didn't talk about Bill. Bill's still in freaking lockup. Frank Bros.
I thought that was going to be the final thing at the end. Oh, we're going to get a resolution to the scene that we saw, the last beginning of this one, right? Flash, so that if you weren't watching and missed it, you'd be like, where'd this guy go?
Yeah, Villicek is not. Vilca was not in there whatsoever. Shit, I don't know what's going on with him, but I know they're already doing the next season. But I think they're doing it without the showrunner though, or someone, or one of the writers.
Or it's a contract dispute, because I don't bother looking that shit up to understand why it's not. I mean, I just know what I'm seeing, right? And I'm not seeing him.
I know that I don't know if it's Taylor Sheridan's even involved. I know he's kind of like come back. He's leaving Paramount's. Probably not soon, but in the next couple of years. So, and his brain is in the chat here. Says, it says, there's no cliffhanger, clean slate for season 4. So, Bill's just left. Okay, all right, Bill's not here. Happy ending for everybody. Everybody made it out. No one died again, like for the 3rd season in a row, except for Jimmy. I wonder if Jimmy, the guy who played Jimmy, wanted off the show. That's all I can think.
It can happen.
He's the only character that's died that I've known of. That wasn't a villain. But I loved. There's a scene here, because when they're first looking for Joanne and we get to see Bodie in this. He's at the weed shop again. Well, the third time in the season we've seen the weed shop, higher whatever it's called, higher plains
or higher plane. Yeah,
I don't know.
I keep wanting to say higher place because that's the name of a Journey song.
High plains drifter. I don't know. Anyway, So you see, he goes into a safe and he looks at the wall, and then Bodhi looks at the gun. He grabs the gun, and he does not like guns. And so I'm like, oh shit, is this foreshadowing for something else? He's going to use the gun on somebody. But he goes over to Fred, who's now at the place, and he runs the shop. He's like, hey, or not Fred. It was the other guy, the other one, Grace's buddy from the weed shop beginning, the one that normally is.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is his name? The little kid.
His name is Forgettable Guy.
It really is, because I'm looking at the cast. It even lists his name here. But yeah, Vincent, I think it is. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But all I know is that that the kid from the very beginning, the first episode, he basically gives a gun. He's like, only if you need to, in case Joanne shows up, and that was kind of it, But overall, I said this was a solid ending, for Tulsa King Saturns. I don't know. I thought Kevin Polack was gonna fuck him over, because now he gave him what information in. Verify this.
It's a basic performance for Kevin Polack.
Yeah,
show up, say a few lines, what we all know, do nothing, and you're done. But I guess I'll reach out to you if I ever need anything. And he walks and leaves. Boom, done.
Yeah.
No resolution on bill, nothing being brought up, just absolutely nothing.
So
it's people standing and saying things, nothing's progressing. I know it's supposed to be popcorn entertainment, but there's that's what's frustrating. Even if it's popcorn, try a little harder, I guess.
I'm trying to think of who would be the big bad villain for the season 4. It's gonna be either someone new, or it's gonna be Cal Thresher again. I don't know.
Well, what about Cole?
Well, Cole,
I mean, not that we saw any of that coming since the first time we saw him.
No.
I mean, how dare the writer try something that's never been done before?
I would have loved it if Cole would have been the one that killed his own father.
That would have been better.
To say Dwight.
Here he goes. It goes out as weak sauce.
His dad's, he's like, Delmeyer's got Stallone at gunpoint. He's like, kill him, dude. Prove you're right. It's like, and then he turns the gun and shoots his dad in the head, kills him. Kind of like we saw at Shocking with Bill did the Chickie in season 2. I would have thought about that.
I keep going back to that one scene where Chickie murdered his father. And I know that was really the only dark thing for the most part that we've seen. Yeah. And I'm okay with this being a light popcorn show. But when you have something as strong as that felt like it was making the season move up to stuff, and you saw Chickie kind of grow into that role, that's what I mean by progression. It's cool that Bigfoot has conveniently 4, bigger brothers or whatever that come and help him out in the fight. It adds absolutely nothing to the emotional interest of this or how good it is. Like I say, it was cool with the fight, timing it with Bad to the Bone, which is a great song. If anybody remembers the video, that's Beau Diddley that's in there too. The guy that created that beat, by the way. I enjoy it. I just feel like they're intentionally leaving it short, like they're not trying that hard. And I keep going back to a few years ago, we had a discussion here on the Extreme Movie Show, reviewing some new what was coming out new on Netflix and talking about some things. And I brought up a movie that technically was sound. It didn't really falter in any areas, but it was just completely boring. And when it bothered me so much, I was trying to read reviews about it, and I came across the concept that Netflix and other major streamers do, because they're trying to go in-house for content, not pay a lot, and just get stuff barely functioning, so they have hours that they can stream, and people will binge anything. They're intentionally calling it the B screen, where you can be sitting there on your tablet or whatever watching something while the TV's running, right? And so they're going, well, if people aren't going to spend time really watching us, they'll stream us at least a little bit. So we've got to have something that takes up that time. So we'll just slap something together that's mildly coherent. And it's like, I can't get that thought out of my head, because I thought whoever wrote that, when I read it, summed up the current writing status in all media today, where nobody's really trying that hard at all anymore, because they don't have to. And it's very disappointing, because with something with Stallone, how much quality he's been involved in, and popcorn, let's be honest, have a little style or lean into it if that's what you're going to be. I just felt like they were coasting after about the 3rd or 4th episode, and they never got on track. Mm-hmm. Even when we finally got the New Orleans King coming in and all that too, it was a joy to see Samuel Jackson. He did what he does.
Yeah.
but I wasn't feeling it from anybody. That's the whole thing. And
So
then Cole went out with a whimper, and you know what? I think that, honestly, now that you mention it,
yeah,
the best acting in this episode was Cal Thresher. That's naturally what he does and does well. And he sold it in there. You believe that he's going to be the governor. And when he looks at her and says, "No, I want you on my team. I'm Cal fucking Thresher, the governor," or whatever like that. I'm like, that's a big difference from when he kind of wimped out last season, right?
yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. I agree. He'll be there next season.
So I was reading up on for season 4 and stuff right now. According to this article I read on Parade.com, it says again they started filming on November 4th. You know, limited a lot of production over 2,000. We talked about this earlier. 2,000 crew members were let go ahead of season 4's production, including stunt coordinator and Stallone's stunt double, Freddie Poole. And then it's still without a traditional showrunner. Those studio executives, Scott Stone, is said to be running a day-to-day operations. That's kind of when we're left with that.
Good.
Yeah, I don't know. I think season 4 might be the end of it. I don't know. Hopefully it keeps going. I like seeing Stallone on TV. To me,
that's one thing I want to say. Hey, both these guys are like 75 plus as far as age. It doesn't bother me. It's not a distraction.
No. And I'll say this: I'll watch this over Inexpendables. There you go. Let's bring Dolph Lundgren on as the Russian bad guy.
Oh man, would that be badass? No, that's a great idea, right?
Bring in Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, man, I love it.
Let's bring the Expendables cast into this show.
Go down to New Orleans.
Yeah.
Maybe Jean-Claude's living out there in the bayou like he still was back in the movie when he punched the snake in the head, right?
Yep.
With the long jacket and the mullet.
Yeah,
because he's the accent.
Because he's hard to kill. Or you know, he'd be great. Steven Seagal.
No, he'll never be in anything mainstream ever.
No.
Ever.
We don't know as far as the future of Cole is, Dunmire, if he's going to be working for Dwight or is he just done for the show. Armand was said to basically have committed suicide. We're hinted to that. But, of course, the way it's set up, it seems like foul play. So that means if he was murdered, who murdered him? Or is it even him? I still don't think it's even him. Maybe it is supposed to be him.
You just saw the legs hanging, right?
Yeah. Until I see a face, I don't believe they're dead. Bin Laden, I didn't see no face. There, let's see.
The problem with the way they're doing these last couple seasons, for the most part, fairly light, is if they decided to switch on and say, hey, this is our last season, we're going to go out with a bang or whatever, and they're going to really try. Yeah, they could take angles like you're mentioning or describing or build or something and make it work. But when you get used to a certain emotional intensity, even if it's very low and lighthearted, which is okay, it's really hard to ramp that up. And so much different why, at least with Landman, even if you don't like all the scenes or you find the teenager going to college, cheerleader, and the mom being kind of whatever, but there's a reason why they're those characters and we know what they are when they're on scene. Here with all these additional side characters, like with Grace, again, no development. Tyson, we thought there could have been something with his dad and being a pimp. Nothing. It's embarrassing, really. I'd rather them really have a lot less people and at least have them kind of grow in their own way where
there
you can
was
see it.
No interaction really between Tyson and Samuel L. Jackson. I was shocked about that.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to give Tyson a little bit of a rub because of how he is, and
his dad's a gangster, and this guy basically gives him
hey, is your dad such and such? Oh, I think I heard of him.
Yeah,
and look, stare at him, and then you cut away. You're like, man, that's the scene I want. I want to see him walking up to Tyson's father's house and knocking on that door.
Or
maybe he knows him from the past.
Or Samuel L. Jackson just giving him advice. Is dude, quit ahead, quit, get your head out of your ass, and you ain't gangster,
Yeah, I may not have been a gangster. I may have been a plumber for the last 4 years. I'm old and retired. But if you so much as ever think about touching my son, I will be a gangster one more time and kill you.
Well, no, his dad.
Man, that would have been fucking awesome.
No, I wanted Tyson to be put in his place by Samuel L. Jackson. It's like it was like and just gives him advice because obviously his father advice because he's always only heard it from his dad. His dad gave him some advice stuff, and it's not really resonating with him. But if someone else does it too, say to him too, maybe Tyson might get to mature a little bit, more and actually stop being, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got and try to impress, and
He
actually
looked good
just
today. He had a different
patience.
suit on and all that, and I was like,
Yeah,
that's a good
yeah,
color scheme for him.
yeah,
Oh, let me ask you, because we forgot to totally mention this
yeah.
guy. What about Silent Ray or Silent Old Man?
James Remar.
Yeah, what happened to him?
So I think he'll come back the next season. I don't think they'll write him off, just like the New York. Because that's one thing the current with this series is the New York Mafia, are still involved. The only thing I said their show needs to go is Cartel. That's the last thing I know, because then the show's over. Because I can't really think of
you don't like cartels in anything.
No, listen to me. Well, because everything has cartel. Unless you're watching Sicario, that movie with the cartel, that was fucking amazing.
That was.
But it seems like we already did the white nationalists, the army, the neo-Nazis, the biker group. After that, we have the triads.
Hasn't there been
and
one?
Now we had
the
Southern Dixie
cartel.
What's that?
The Amish cartel mafia.
Amish cartel.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah, Wagons West, I guess. But
I think I'm joking, sir.
I don't think we'll have the Amish being here as a threat.
No, I just meant. I thought you were covering cartels in general. I'm sorry.
Oh, cartels in general. Yeah, no. But the only thing I can think of is you're going to have the cartel, the Mexican cartel coming in, the drug trade suck. They don't, because remember, who did they steal the drugs from? Tyson did for the college kids. Where were they getting the drugs from?
Exactly.
He stole the drugs from somebody because the kids they bought it from somebody and interrupted their business, and now they're doing their own thing, their own pushing stuff.
Been accounted for that might be in the middle.
That was last episode, wasn't that, or the episode before? They got kicked out of the club because there's another player from the club. The guy who was watching says, kick him out, and we get basically. So that guy's gonna come back. I know that. So I guess that might. I think they're gonna have the cartel probably with the drug stuff. Colombians. Every show gets better with Colombians, right, man? Get some 80s Miami Vice music. Get some water. Get a boats. Let's go. Eric Breen in the chat, our young viewer, says, prediction, Tyson will leave the gangster life behind to go to business with his dad. Honestly, that's the best ending for him. I'd rather see him do that than continue with Dwight. Maybe
his dad dies under mysterious circumstances we find out a little bit later. So he goes back to takes over the honest business to take care of his mom or something like that. Maybe the stripper comes back in his life and he wants to make an honest woman out of her.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the season, something happens. He has to go gangster one final time, and then that's when we go, okay, Tyson, you've been a fuckhead for 4 seasons. Now you get to be a badass and save your family and to go back to being a plumber. That would be cool. That'd be a nice little arc.
Well, maybe we're going to send Tyson to Nola King. Of course, we'll be covering Nola King on here when it comes out, because why not? I got it.
Tyler Sheridan show, unless I say so.
And I'm hoping maybe that show will be less comedic like this. It might. You'll still have the. It'll be like a Tarantino movie.
Look, we've done a few exploitation movies, certainly not nearly enough. And one movie I don't believe that we ever covered was the original Shaft with Richard Roundtree, which is a 70s kind of icon thing. Samuel Jackson did the soft kind of reboot of that around 2000 and 1999, because I say that because not only did I think it was horrible, but American Psycho Christian Bale was like the bad dude in there and really pouty and made a real good bitch in there. Yeah. So I'm afraid that the Nola King is going to be worse than his Shaft movie.
No.
I think I'm calling it now, sir.
Well, I think it'll be.
I mean, but then I'm wrong, because I did call one person to die in this episode from his team just to thin it out and give us some emotional impact. And I was wrong. I admit that. Well, I lose that bet, sir.
We always play that game. Who out of Dwight's crew would you be okay with dying? And I'm attached to a lot of the characters.
No, I would like to see Grace. I would like to see Grace.
Grace
Bodie could be a bit of a dick. I don't mind going. We want to see Tyson whacked, right? Or he's just a village idiot. We want him there to be the punching bag. Then he can die.
Tyson is like the town drunk.
Yeah.
He plays a certain thing. He's for comedic relief, and then he's like the Kirk Cameron of the whatever you call it.
Don't insult Kirk
Growing
Cameron.
Pains.
Come on, man.
I don't have to. He insults himself.
Stallone's daughter's hot, but she's just trying too hard.
Yeah, it's another thing.
She's not bad. Her timing is good.
We have not seen her since season 2.
Yeah, but she comforted Cole by putting her hand on his forearm, going, "No."
Oh no. Okay, you're totally different characters here. I'm talking about Manfredi's daughter, not Stallone's daughter. Okay. Manfredi's estranged daughter, the one he reconciled with, she moved back to New York to avoid all this.
I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to be halfway serious for a moment. One show that you and I will be covering here in the spring when it comes out again, we've done it every season so far. And this, now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder why we haven't compared it, because one show that's been pretty good despite some forced issues in it, in my opinion, and that would be Reacher. But the thing with Reacher, when you read the books, it's all the same book. Reacher, something happens at the beginning, he gets involved in something pretty much, on his own. And then by the end of the episode or end of the season, everything fits and moves towards that. And he kisses the girl goodbye and leaves. And that's just that, rinse, repeat cycle formula, all that kind of crap, whatever.
Get with this show,
this show does not do that.
What do you mean?
That's how weak it is. They're 10 individual episodes rather than a season of 10 episodes building towards a finale.
Robert Patrick played the same villain he did on Reacher.
Oh my God, you're right.
Changed my mind.
And Patrick's got it. I mean, he's not whiny FBI guy that shows up a little bit and say, "Pug, get off my screen. I'm changing channel." I like Robert Patrick. He's good.
I love Roger Patrick in real life, and not like love, but I mean, like he's a very respectable guy. He every year he does that biker rally for the troops, Veterans Day, and all that stuff. He's still married to his same wife for 39 years, I think. Yeah, something like that. He married her right around when Terminator 2 came out. They got married. So yeah, he's a very nice person, and Stallone has come to that point. Yeah, Stallone's a good guy too as well. It's just that I don't know. I think Stallone just wanted to tie it down. I think Stallone, the reason why the show is the way it is because Stallone he's done all the serious stuff. He did all the Rambo stuff. Now he just wants to have fun. He wants to get Carter. He wants to be a little, because his Expendables were a little goofy too.
Well, he just wanted to get everybody together and do that kind of film.
Yeah, it's
first one wasn't bad. Second one, third one, nobody talked about.
Stallone has nothing to prove to anybody anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and that's why he's doing a show like this.
And in your defense, and perhaps his as well, and my whole view on this is that you're right. This show is what it is. I'm smart enough to acknowledge it. The problem I'm having here is not an intellectual one. It's an emotional one with my heart with Stallone, because I know that he's capable of doing some really great stuff, and he does a lot of fun stuff that I've covered here on the Extreme Movie Shows. We base our channel off the 80s because I'm the 80s guy and you're the 90s guys, and we love action movies, right? So we've covered a ton of his stuff. He has a sense of humor and can have fun, and I appreciate it. So maybe if this is a little bit more like that, and maybe it is, I have to look at it, but I thought because he really made the point of, hey, I've never done TV, and so I wanted to try it and still learn to do stuff and be involved. I just thought he would put some quality into it because he's involved, and he's putting some stuff into it. But I don't want to assume that this is his vision or anything like that at all. But look, I'll go back. Hey, he might be 80. Patrick might be 75. No problem seeing these guys with him. It's always a treat to see Stallone on screen, even if it's the small one. I'm not looking going, man, you're too old, or you're getting there. You might want to just quietly retire. No. I keep going, Stallone. I will keep watching and all that too. So, loyal to a fault when it comes to Stallone, and I just have to change my frame of mind watching this whole series. But season 4, we'll see what happens. I do think this season was a bit different than the first 2 in tone. Doesn't mean it was better, but we'll see what they do in season 4. They, like Eric Breen said in chat, they kind of left it fairly clean. They can do whatever they want. Hopefully they do something that just personally for me is a bit more engaging in terms of what I think can be done with this show.
They're not tied. By having a cliffhanger, you're tied to that plot. They continue that plot. Now they can just start over scratch, and if they really want to, they could go a whole route you're thinking of, the dark route, if they want to.
Yeah. Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Tulsa King season 3 finale. It's pretty entertaining. It goes pretty quick. It doesn't really linger and all that. It's everything you would expect. So it doesn't really stress your brain out as far as having to really think about stuff. Watch it, don't think, and be like RDV and just enjoy it for what it is. And I'll do that too. So I want to thank RDV and everybody else involved here at the Extreme Movie Show for showing up tonight. We had a pretty good audience for this too. We'll be switching up what we're going to be doing here soon. We're going to be continuing with Landman, our reviews on that. So everybody have a happy Thanksgiving, whatever it is you do during the holidays. Good night now.
That is right. It's Turkey Day on Thursday.
Gobble, gobble, motherfucker.
I hope this show doesn't go out like Barney.
Thanks killing review possibly coming soon.
I saw a clip of that with a bird coming out of the jeans. I'm done. One of the Thanksgivings, there's like multiples, but
well, there's that bunny serial killer one for Easter I want to do too.
You know what I want? I want Critters 3.
I'll take Critters 1 because I don't think we reviewed that.
I'll take Critters 3 over Gremlins 3 getting a seat.
I would draft Gremlins 3 to trade it for something better like Pumpkinhead. See, I got you with that.
no, because I was thinking, what was the other one?
My Lance Henriksen card.
Give me some Tommy knockers. You know those.
Good night now.
Later, guys.